Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new makeup tutorial for you. This is going to be an autumn makeup tutorial but with minimal products. I'm going to be doing this look with 7 products, which for me is fairly minimal. I know everyone has their different levels of what they consider to be minimal, but for me this is pretty good going. So 7 products and it's a full face look. It is very nice and simple, so for those of you who are looking for something for work or just for an everyday wear, this one's really nice. And this video is one of my videos in partnership with EcoTools, and there is actually going to be an EcoTools giveaway at the end of this video, so keep watching for that. I know a lot of you have been asking for a giveaway with their brushes, so we have that today, which is very exciting, but let's get on with the video. So I'm going to get started with the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is one I've been liking a lot recently. I picked this up back in June, and it's just a nice medium coverage but very covering foundation, if that makes sense. It's not too heavy, but it covers everything that needs to be covered, and my skin is very uneven and quite red at the moment. I've got a lot of red patches, especially around my eyebrows, because I just did those. So I went a little bit overboard whilst I was doing them as well, and now they don't match. So we're gonna just glaze past that and get on with the foundation. And I'm going to be applying this with an EcoTools domed bronzer brush. I've been using this every so often recently for foundation because I just find that it's really nice and quick to apply foundation with, because it's so dense but it's so huge at the same time. So I'm just taking a pump and a half of that onto the brush to start off with, and then I'm just dotting that onto my face. And I was actually going to use my Rimmel Match Perfection foundation today because I've been really enjoying using that recently, and the coverage is really good. It's a nice medium coverage but covers everything, this kind of foundation, but I can't find it. And this is the problem when your friends come around and you just say help yourself to whatever you like. You end up losing your favourite new foundation, so I need to find that. And I'm just taking that down my neck as well, just to make sure that everything matches, because I feel like this foundation is just half a shade, maybe too dark for my skin, blends perfectly onto my face but doesn't match my neck. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer in the shade 40 Soft Beige, and I'm going to be using this to cover my dark circles under my eyes slightly and to just get the last few bits of redness that are poking through on my forehead and around my eyebrows. And because I'm buffing concealer into quite large areas of skin, I'm just going to use the domed bronzer brush from EcoTools that I just used for my foundation, just to buff all of that in. It's just really nice and quick and easy. So that's concealer done. I really like this one. It covers so well, and it's so affordable as well. I was feeling really self-conscious about, I've got a few little spots on my forehead here from where I've just really gone too heavy on the dairy recently, and I was just feeling a bit self-conscious about them, but that has covered them so nicely. So I'm really impressed with that one. Now we're going to move on to brows and just get those out the way quickly. As usual, I'm going to be using my Benefit Ka-Brow Brow Gel. I adore this stuff. It's so good. I've tried a lot of different brow pomades in the past, and this is by far my favourite. And for brushes, I'm about to start using some brushes from the EcoTools 6-piece starter set. So I'm going to be using the angled eyeliner brush from that set to do my brows, and I'm also going to be using this for some liner a little bit later on as well. So just dab that a tiny bit in the pomade and then get to work on my brows. So as usual, I fill in the underside a tiny bit to start off and round the arch a little bit more, just to make it a bit more curved. And with this brow, I'm extending the tail a fair bit more than the other one because I went overboard with that one this morning. I really should start getting my brows done by a professional, because I'm a bit of a cowboy when it comes to doing my eyebrows. I don't know how they've lasted this long. And then I'm just doing the top side, and I'm using the flat part of the brush and just stroking that down just to create a nice straight arch. And I do this in really light stroking motions as well, so that it looks a little bit more natural than just carving out the brow. And then I just use whatever's left on the front. And that is pretty much my everyday brow at the moment. It's that easy and that quick. So now I'm just doing the same with the other brow. So again, starting underneath. I always fill this one in a tiny bit more underneath because my brows just naturally are shaped differently on the underside. That's just how they grow. And then again, using any excess on the front of my brow. So that is it for brows, really nice and simple. And then just to finish it off, I run the bristle end of the EcoTools Lash and Brow Groomer from the starter set through my brows, just to get rid of any excess product and make sure they're not looking too dark. So now I'm moving on to eyes, and I'm only using 2 products for the eyes, one which is mascara and the other which is the Colourpop Cream Gel colour in Mr. Bing. This is a lovely warm brown colour, and I think that it's perfect for an autumn look. look, and I feel like doing a little bit of liner with this instead of a black liner is much softer, and it's just a little bit warmer and really perfect for autumn. And to apply this product, I'm going to be using the angled eyeliner brush from the 6-piece starter set again. I don't really mind that it's got a little bit of product left over from my eyebrows. There's barely any left on it, but you can always clean it with a face wipe if you want to. I'm just a bit lazy and it will not really affect it at all, so I don't really mind. And I'm too lazy to get up and get my spare one, so I'm just dabbing this into the product, and then I'm just going to be applying this really close to the lash line to start off with. So as you can see, I've just created a very simple fine line along the top of my upper lash line, and what I'm actually going to do now is just create a really subtle, gentle flick. It's not going to be a huge, great big flick like I would normally do, but just a really nice little smoky flick just to bring the eyes outwards a little and make everything a little bit softer. And to make things a little bit more smudgy, I'm using the eye shading brush from the 6-piece starter set just to blend that out a little bit more. So as you can see, this is what my current flick looks like, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. And again, I'm using that eye shading brush to make things really nice and smoky. And then I'm just cleaning this all up with a tiny bit of concealer and an EcoTools Airbrush concealer brush. So this is what the liner looks like when it's all smudged out. You could just leave it as one thin, fine line if that is what you prefer, or that is what you think suits your eye shape better. It's totally up to you. I just felt like this look would be a little bit more interesting if I just smoked it out a tiny bit. But now I'm going to be moving on to mascara, and I'm going to be using the Clarins Mascara Super Volume. This is in the black colour. I was going to be using the brown one, but I just couldn't find it today. There were so many products that I wanted to use in this tutorial, but that I just couldn't find, so I'm using the black version of this, but this is an amazing, really volumizing, lengthening mascara. So now that I'm done with mascara and cleaning up the excessive amount of mascara that I got not on my lashes, I'm going to be moving on to bronzer, blush and highlight, and today I'm going to be using the Rimmel Sculpt palette. This is shade 3, which I actually think is slightly too dark for me, so I will be going back and getting the lighter shade, but for now it will do, and I'm going to use it to contour / bronze and you do my blush, highlighter, everything. This is one of those amazing palettes that basically does the majority of your face just in one palette, and it's so affordable as well. I really like this one. It's great if you're trying to keep the amount of products that you're using really, really minimal. Like in this tutorial, this is a lifesaver for me. And the great thing is you can also use the contour and highlight shades as eyeshadows as well. So I'm actually going to be using the blush brush from the 6-piece starter set for my bronzer and contour, because this is just one of those brushes that is the perfect shape for getting in the hollows of my cheeks, so that's what I'm using this for. And I literally just sweep it through the hollows of my cheeks and have to blend it out a lot because this product is so pigmented. And then I'm also going to be taking another airbrush concealer brush. This is a clean one, and I'm going to be using the same bronzing powder just to contour my nose. I literally live for contouring my nose. I've seen a few of you commenting and tweeting me saying that you've tried it and it's changed your life, and I am so pleased because it did the same for me. I don't even know how I got into doing this because I don't have a big nose at all, but I just find that it makes so much difference to the way my makeup looks when I contour my nose, and I love it. And I'm so glad that I started doing this. I'm also going to be using the same blush brush, and I'm going to be dabbing that in the blush shade and then just popping that on my cheeks a tiny bit. I don't want to go too overboard, but I just want a tiny bit of life to my cheeks, because I find that after foundation and concealer they can end up looking a little bit lifeless. Up until recently I've always been so against blush, but recently I've just found it really makes my makeup look. I don't know how I went without it for so long. And the great thing about this blush is that it already has a tiny bit of a glow to it already, so it just adds a little bit of highlight to the tops of your cheekbones as you're applying it. However, I want this look to be super, super glowy, so I'm going to be taking an EcoTools highlighting fan brush, and I'm going to be sweeping that through the highlighter shade here, and just sweeping that over the tops of my cheekbones, over my temples, down my nose, basically everywhere. And the one thing I would say about this highlight is that it's a very golden champagne-y highlight colour, so if you like more icy tones, this might not be the one for you. And it also just tends to make your skin look like it has a lot more texture than it actually does. So those are just two things to bear in mind with this highlighter. It's not a super subtle, really easy to wear everyday one. You do have to work at it, and normally, I completely forgot last night, but I normally like to exfoliate before I apply it, just so your skin is really smooth and you have a really nice smooth base that's not gonna look like it has too much texture. It looks amazing on camera though. Wow. So we're pretty much done here. Now all that is left is lips, and if you want to keep this look super neutral and just have a little nod to the autumn with the brown eyeliner, then you can always go with your favourite nude lip or just your favourite lip colour. But for me, I feel like the Huda Beauty lip pencil in the shade Icon is the perfect lip colour to pair with this look, or I hope so anyway. I just have this vision and I'm hoping it's going to work out, and I just feel like a really lovely muted red tone would look really lovely with the rest of this look. And it's just really simple, so you've got the eyes and there's not too much going on, there's just a little nod to autumn, and then the lips are a nice autumnal kind of colour. I just think that it will look so nice. But like I said, if you just don't feel comfortable rocking a bold lip, or you just want to keep things super wearable and minimal, or it's just like not appropriate for your work or office or just everyday wear, then go with a nude lipstick. So I'm just going to be applying the lip liner in Icon all over my lips, and that's all I'm going to be using on my lips today. And then, because I'm the messiest person on earth, I'm just cleaning this up using my concealer and the AIRBRUSH concealer brush. And that is the finished look. I feel like it's a really nice transitional autumn shade, so it's not too dark and vampy yet. I don't feel like I'm ready for that quite yet, but I feel like it's a nice in-between autumnal makeup look, and it's very minimal as well. It doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. It's only 7 products, which I think is pretty good for me. As we all know, I tend to just keep piling on makeup, so this is a really nice minimal-ish autumnal look, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And as for the giveaway, I'm really excited to announce that EcoTools are giving you the chance to win a ton of EcoTools goodies. All you have to do is leave a comment below telling me your #1 minimal makeup essential, and we will pick one of you. And as with all of my giveaways, I'll leave full details and all of the info and deadlines and everything in the info box for you to go and read, so make sure you check that out. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having the best day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.